Peace and blessings to everyone. This is Big Preach from Gospel Rap Nation coming to you live and bringing it to you from Gospel Rap Nation on YouTube. Now, I got a serious bone to pick. When it comes to black people in America, I'm talking about the ones that are rich, the ones that are, got money a little bit, and then ones that are in the scratching phase of us. We as people, we got $2 trillion according to the Federal Trade Commission. $2 trillion in spending, okay? 38% is African Americans, males, and the rest is women, all right? We have the money, black people. Could black people just once think about this? Just think, if it's a pipe dream, then let it be a pipe dream. But just think of what we could do if we had unity. If we woke up one morning in America and said, I want for my brother and sister what I want for myself. With that comes $2 trillion spending power. We are out of poverty overnight and won't have to think about racism ever again. The moment we can start doing business with each other. That's what the solution is. Big Preach has the solution. And I just told you. The solution is us spending money with each other. We ain't got to be all in love with everybody. I mean, you can have downright hatred and still spend money. You downright have hatred for white folks, but you still go into their stores and spend your money in their establishments while they hate you. Don't you know? You realize. And what black people need to realize is this. Where you spend your money to is who you empower. I'm going to repeat that. Who you spend your money to and where you spend your money at, that's who you empower. We're not empowering each other. We have no love for each other. We have so much sick nigga self-hatred, and they don't like the truth when you tell it raw and uncut. But just look. Let's look at this Black Lives Matter movement. Black Lives Matter movement started by a white racist Jew named George Soros. Black people, do you really want that same exact funding like the Jews did with the NAACP, which stands for niggas always asking crackers for permission? Now, when are you going to wake up? When are we going to wake up? When are our children and our fathers and our mothers and our nieces and our cousins and our uncles and our godfathers and our godbrothers and godsisters, when are we going to all wake up as people? That is the key. If you want to see Christ, we keep praying for Jesus to come back, Christian black folks. I'm speaking to my gospel black folks now. You keep praying and giving it to Jesus, okay? But God also gave us this. Listen to the Big Preaching very carefully. God gave us this. And in this comes our subconscious mind, which comes from the spirit realm, which the word says God is a spirit. So in our subconscious mind, what we need to do is start really focusing on unity. One by one, little by little, we need to just focus on unity. The moment we focus on unity, black people, $2 trillion of spending comes into our communities. Now, I just want you guys to all think about that very carefully. Do you want to keep spending your money into white institutions that do not care about you? They do not want you in their institutions, but they take your money. See, we need to understand how we got into this conditioning. And how we got to this conditioning was way back from Black Wall Street in 1921. When all of those businesses from a community of hardworking black men and women in a large economical community in Tulsa, Oklahoma was destroyed. Using planes to kamikaze into buildings. Big Preach is going to post it up on Facebook. So y'all check this out as y'all listen to this on Facebook. Check this out. Okay? I'm going to do a post of Black Wall Street, and I want you to see how they destroyed our economy, and we had no protection. They went in, plotted carefully, and destroyed all the women and children and businesses, using planes to bomb into our businesses. So now what I'm trying to say is, when are we going to wake up and get back to the community that we once had? That community, those people were destroyed, dead, and died. And because white supremacy sought forth at that time not to let none of this knowledge of black people to be passed down. That's why today black people do not understand what knowledge is on equity of your money. To have equity on your money and knowledge of it is obsolete in the black community. Black people earn and spend. That's all we do. Earn and spend. We don't earn and invest. We don't understand what equity is on our money. Black Wall Street, we created the stock market. It came from the brilliance of the black mind, amongst other minds and other inventions that we have contributed to America. And yet, the foundations of white supremacy, that's the core of America, continues to spit in our face with disrespect. No matter how many successful black people you have in Congress, look at Congress. You got black people in Congress, and the moment they vote on what's best to do what's best for our people in America, they're outvoted by white senators and white House of Representatives. Now, they just passed a bill in the House not long ago from 300 votes to 131 votes. This bill had to do with the Food and Drug Administration policing them to police the companies that is putting ingredients in our food that we buy. Don't we have a right to know what's in our food? They're putting all these GMOs, which stands for genetically modified organisms, in our food, and it's causing us to have cancer and causing our health to deteriorate throughout all our communities. It is catastrophic what it's done to us. We have no resources. How we create the resources is simple. We start loving one another again and spending money with each other again. So I support the recycling of black dollar. And what is the success, black people? What do you define as success? I say what Dr. Claude Anderson said. He said that success is determined by getting an education off of white supremacy, graduating from that university, and then going to work into corporate America, which is white supremacy again. And by you getting your 90,000 K a year, you go around your family reunions and you say that's successful. My. You're successful off the hands of what is instituted and what has allowed you the access. This is why we are in the crazy mind that we are. We are dealing with white supremacy and not having access to any resources. So what is good is your success? Even these black churches that have so much money, what good is your success? And you're taking all the church resources and funds and putting it into a white bank. Now they say this is racist. This is not racist. This is taking responsibility for us to love each other. How are you going to expect anyone else to love us and to respect us as people when we do not respect and honor ourselves? And I'm speaking of our own individual family, starting in minds. How we don't even respect one another, love one another, cherish one another, help one another. I mean, it is quite clear and obvious. Even the homeless rate in Black America. A report indicated that homelessness stems from because black people do not leave wills. We're not educated. How did this education did not come to our communities? It's because it was calculated for this knowledge and education not to become into our communities. And this knowledge was not passed down. Black people do not, to this day, don't understand the power of leaving wills. So when someone dies in your family, they come in and take the house and take all the assets, and then you got to fight in the white man's court for your stuff, and it's called probate court. Okay? You got to go to the court and beg the white man to have your house back that you lived in, for all that your family and your mom and or your dad or whoever lived in the house. They take our resources, what little we have. Now, if we stick together, learn how to love one another with the Nation of Islam, with the Nation of the Gods, Ancient Kemet, the Hebrew Israelites, brothers, the Moors, all of us, we need to come together and do what the common good for our people and end the tyranny that is plaguing our people, and stop thinking that I got mine and get yours. Black people, we took up individualism and took upon this resources after Martin Luther King integrated us in it, in which he knew at the very end, after the Civil Rights Bill was passed, he knew that he said that he integrated his people into a burning house. That's what it said in Harry Belafonte's biography. And look, go look it up. The Minister Farrakhan has said it a lot. A lot of people on the comments timeline on the Facebook, they know about it. They said, Martin Luther King realized that he made a mistake. He made a mistake to the point where after the Civil Rights Bill was passed, he was nowhere to be found, according to study, according to research, according to history. So what I'm saying is, when are we going to wake up? When are we going to see fit that we can do for ourselves? We've done it before, and it was very, very, very successful if you do the research of Black Wall Street. We created the stock market. The stock market was created by the minds of black people in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They robbed and bombed and killed and raped and went in and destroyed Black Wall Street, took the concept that we had, and that's what you are seeing on the stock market today in New York and Wall Street. Today, a stock market that was brilliantly conducted and thought of by black people. Humble beginnings in Tulsa, Oklahoma that wind up being destroyed. And not only was it destroyed, they destroyed the ability to pass down that knowledge to our people. It was excommunicated and cut off through the scepter of blood. Now, we got generations later, and we are still lost because all of this was calculated to keep us lost. All of this was calculated to keep us in the conditioning of social engineering that we are in, especially the black woman. She does not realize that she is a prime target of social engineering. If you study it very carefully and honestly have an open mind towards the knowledge and the research that you engage in, you will see. Feminism was created by the CIA right after World War II, implemented by the publications of financing of the Rothschilds, putting millions of dollars into the publications of feminism in the late 50s and 60s. And then they didn't even make this available for the black woman until the 70s, after the Civil Rights Bill was passed. Then they stepped to black women and said, come on, equal rights for women. And you black women bid on it. And by the time the 90s came, you were already enjoying your independence. And now we're at the peak in the new millennium in 2016. And you feel that you're successful. And our success, like I said earlier, is determined off of getting an education based off of white supremacy, finishing that university, and then going to work into the institutions in America that is designed and created by white supremacy. And that's what black people constitute as success. America's about what you own and control, nothing else. If you're not owning and controlling your business, then you're not successful in nothing. There was a Facebook post that I posted, got so many likes on Gospel Rap Nation Facebook, and it said that basically it's absolutely criminal to keep having babies in our community and then sending these babies as they grow up to go ask for a job in white supremacy. That should be absolutely criminal. We should be creating our own jobs. Once we start creating and building and recycling and doing business with each other, two things happens. We got access to 2 trillion spending power of black money. 1, we're out of poverty overnight. 2, we don't have to deal with the crazy, bullshit crap laws and policies of white supremacy. Background check. Now, mostly black men got felons and all of that. We know that. Because in the turn of the 19th century, they turned the Constitution in the 13th Amendment. And it says no involuntary servitude unless you've been convicted of a felony. Go look it up. Now, what did they say back then? We want to take all the niggers and make them felons. And that's what they did. That's why 1 out of every 4 black men in America are felons. We are products of social engineering. A lot of our mindset, we did not get to it on our own. We had a whole lot of help to get to this mindset. So I'm just saying right now, as a response to the Black Lives Matter, as a response to all the black people that are responding to Donald Trump, he says that we have nothing to lose. He's proposing that he will do a whole lot more for black people than Obama ever did. Well, that sounds like a very good sales pitch, but sorry. I know what Donald Trump represents. I know what Hillary Clinton represents, and I would not be Big Preacher would not be participating in no part of this election. For both candidates have shown utter disdain and completely irresponsibility to lead. And I don't think either candidate are responsible enough to understand the position that they're in leading our nation. And I can go in on that on another broadcast. We can go in on Hillary Clinton. She's in the hot seat, and she's going to stay in the hot seat. Even if she wins the election, she's going to stay in the hot seat. I mean, she seems like she's going to somehow pull a coup d'etat and steal this election because she stole the election from Bernie Sanders. And the world is responding to that because it's a military buildup based upon the fact that Russia has said that if Hillary Clinton is elected, we're going to remove all of our diplomacy and turn it over to our military commanders. That's scary because we're so arrogant. We've never suffered what it is, a bomb from the air on American soil. And our people in America basically exemplify that attitude. We are a nation that is so arrogant. We are arrogant as nation. Okay? And we stink with arrogance. And we act like a nation that's never been bombed. Well, America, I want you to know that the government is preparing for our red dawn. The government is preparing for our red dawn. And as the government prepares, they're not preparing the American people for the red dawn. The red dawn is coming. And when it comes, it's going to be a very much lost people in America. And it's going to be a humbling experience of Americans. And Americans need humbling because we are such an arrogant nation, and we take the truth and we dismiss the truth, or we'll get the hell away from the truth. Those are the two things that happens. We either get the hell away from the truth or dismiss the truth. So the day of truth is coming, and the day of reckoning is coming. This is Big Preacher with Gospel Rap Nation Radio. More will be revealed later. Peace and bless.